All right, guys. I'm going to go over a couple things today that I haven't really touched on too much, and that's really just distance between price and the SMAs, and then the SMAs and each other. So something that's very key into catching bottoms and catching tops. A lot of the times, people try to predict the bottoms, predict the tops because of the reward, and it's great. Um, but this is something that I use to try to implement into my trading for timing those bottoms and those tops, um, and the reversals. So I just want to go over a few different things. So right here, this is the Costco 2 minute chart. So something I want to go over is I want to show you guys the state of these SMAs here. So if you follow me and my strategy, you know I use the 20 and the 200 simple moving average heavily. Price likes to carry on top of the 20, on top of the 200, whatever the case may be. So right here, so I just want to dive into it with you guys. So right here, we can see prices trending in this downward move here. This is a solid downward move up underneath that 20, right? And which is fine because we like to enter on these, like these little color change engulfings near that 20 SMA right there as the 20 is trending down. So this could be an entry for downside here, which is all fine and dandy. But if we want to catch the bottom of this downtrend here, what we're looking for is space between price and the 20 SMA. So right here, we can see price is a little bit near this 20, as you can see here. But over here, it starts to get a little further away from this 20 SMA. It has a little bit of a distance between price and the 20, right? This is just called dual space. So whenever the price is a little bit further away from a trending 20 like this, I'm taking note, like maybe we could get a little bit of a pullback into the 20 and either get an entry or we're going to break through. So I'm taking note that price is far away from the 20 here. Once I take note of this, I'm also taking note of, well, how far is the 20 away from the 200? In this case, the 20 is decently far from the 200. I would categorize this as a wide state. So if I have a wider state between price and the 20, and I also have a wider state in between the 20 and the 200, this is a dual space. So I have two spaces right here, 1, 2, and 1 right here. Both of these are showing that price is further away and creating a wide state. Whenever wide states are created in the market, price likes to come back together and create a tight space again. So right here, let's take note of this here. And let's say once we're here, we know that we're far away from the 20, and we know that the 20 is far from the 200. So at this point, we're thinking we might see a bottom. We might be able to catch a reversal back to a narrow state. So what we look for is for price to break above this 20 SMA. If price breaks above this 20 SMA, then we need the 20 to catch it as a bottom. It needs to hold it above it, right? So let's wait in this case to see. So here we got some green coming in right here. Right here, we get a break above the 20. So at this point, this is not an entry for the reversal. I would like to see price come back a little bit and sit kind of on this 20 like this. That would be my plan. If this happens, then I look for a color change engulfing. Then I would look for a white candle to be here and then be fully taken out by a green, just like over here. But on this side, if that happens, that can be an entry for this 20 to come back and meet the 200 and you can ride it up. So that's what we'd be waiting on here. As long as this 20 keeps holding, if price stays right on top of that 20 and never flushes through it, then I could see this being a valid entry for a potential reversal. Price is staying right here. There's no color change yet. This color change was invalid, but this color change was decent, right? So that could be the entry. The entry after, the stop loss after the entry, I'm sorry, goes a few ticks underneath the 200. I mean the 20. I'm sorry. The stop loss goes a few ticks underneath the 20. That way price can kind of tap it and breathe. So what we would do is we'd put a stop loss maybe like right here. That would be our stop. A little bit below that that 20 would be our stop loss. And then we just wait for price to see if it's holding very well on top of this 20 right now. That's what we want to see. A little bit of a break there, but the stop loss is protecting us right here. 20 is curling up. That's fine. We're already in from this entry. So if you didn't get in, you got this entry here, and you have this entry here. But this one would have got me in. And that 20, as you can see, is holding nicely. Price gets tight, rides the 20 back up. Eventually hits the 200. So we're just trying to get this bottom here from this downward move because price was so far away, creating a dual space. I'll show you guys a few more examples. This is not something I take daily. This is just something to implement into your trading strategy to see if it could work out for you. Wow, Bob looks pretty good too. As we see there, as we see here, same thing. Once price is here, we're so far from this 20. Look at that space, and then look at this space. So we have a dual space. 1, 2. Price is far from the 20. 20 is far from the 200. Once we take note of this, let's just say we're here. That way we can play it out. Once we see this right here, what are we doing? We have the far space, the wide states right here. So now all we're doing is waiting for price to break this 20 right here and the 20 to catch it and act as resistance to the downside and us get a color change engulfing. Right here, the 20 is catching it, but on the opposite side, if we're looking for a reversal here to try to time this bottom, time this top for a reversal down here, we want to break this 20 and go downward. We got that here. So now we would be looking for a little bit of consolidation or a nice color change entry after that 20 holds price. Nice. Little bit of a pullback there, consolidating on the 20. This is what we want to see. Right there could be an entry. If you wanted to enter that, you enter there, place your stop a little bit above the 20, just like we said last time. A little bit more consolidation, color change. A little bit more consolidation, color change again, giving multiple entries here. And then as we can see, price went down and still respecting that 20 on the way down to this 200 here, which would be pretty much where I don't want to take some gains because this 20 can act as support heavily here. But as we can see, the space is wide here. Space is wide here. We come break through this 20 here, and all we need is a little bit of a consolidation showing that this 20 is acting as resistance, and then we'll get a color change engulfing to the downside. So that's how I look for bottoms and tops in the market in relation to distance between the 20 SMA and the 200 SMA. So that's really how I like to time the bottoms. I'll show you guys one more example here. Price right here is further from this 20. The 20 is further from the 200. So we're creating a wider state here. Once we get the break below the 20, all we look for is a color change engulfing as the 20 holds it and acts as resistance. So right here, we got a little bit of a consolidation, but there's no engulfing, there's no entry. So all we do is continue to wait. Then we get a slow climb back into that 20. This right here, white, did not take out this green. And then finally, we get a color change engulfing right at the 20 as the 20 is acting as resistance. Sorry, dogs are barking. But, and then after that, you see the fade back down into the 200 after the entry, after the break. So this is how I like to time the bottoms or the tops. When price gets too far from the 20, see if when price gets too far from the 20, see if the 20 is too far from the 200. If that is the case, see if we can get price to break below this 200, back underneath or above, depending on which direction, and then get a little bit of consolidation as that 20 acts as either resistance or support. And then once that happens, we get what you already know, the color change engulfing at or near the 20. And then we get the move to the opposite direction. Stop loss will always go a little bit outside of the 20. Perfect. So just wanted to show you guys a couple examples of those. Maybe that'll help you guys with the bottoms and the tops. I know it's hard to time the bottoms and the tops, so maybe this will help a little bit with trying to time those tops and bottoms for you guys. But it's something that I use, so let me know if it helps you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask. Thanks.